Trump's executive order accelerating AI data center development. In a bold move, President Trump has signed an executive order to accelerate the development of AI data centers on federal land, revoking a previous order from the Biden administration. Trump argued that the old order would have burdened data center development with excessive DEI and climate requirements. But here's where it gets controversial. The Biden order had stipulated that data center operators building on federal lands must procure new clean energy generation to prevent electricity price increases. It also required companies to pay workers prevailing wages and adhere to high labor standards. In contrast, Trump's new order directs the Secretary of Commerce to launch an initiative providing financial support, such as loans, grants, and tax incentives. It instructs agencies to streamline environmental reviews and permitting for data centers and related infrastructure, qualifying projects for faster permitting under the FAST-41 framework. The EO defines data centers as dedicated facilities consuming more than 100 megawatts, with related infrastructure, including semiconductor fabs and energy systems. However, the Trump administration has taken steps to block or slow down renewable energy projects on federal lands. By streamlining permitting and providing financial support, the U.S. will accelerate the development of data centers and enable our global dominance in AI, which will in turn create jobs and enhance national security, the Trump order states. This comes after the White House published a broader AI action plan this week, also calling for reduced permitting regulations for data centers. But the question remains, is prioritizing rapid AI development worth potentially sacrificing clean energy progress and worker protections? Let us know what you think in the comments. Accelerating federal permitting of data center infrastructure. Imagine a world where the U.S. leads in cutting-edge technology, not just today, but for decades to come. That's the vision driving this bold initiative to supercharge the nation's data center infrastructure. But here's where it gets controversial. How far should we go to outpace global competitors? And at what cost to our environment and communities? Let's break it down. A new era of tech leadership. This executive order declares a full speed ahead strategy for American innovation. The goal? To dominate in AI, advanced manufacturing, and critical energy systems by slashing bureaucratic roadblocks. Data centers, those digital powerhouses fueling everything from AI training to climate modeling, are now top priorities. The administration aims to fast-track their construction by streamlining federal permits, using public lands strategically, and pouring resources into projects deemed vital for national security and economic growth. What qualifies as a big win? Not all projects make the cut. To earn priority status, a data center must be massive, over 100 megawatts of power demand, and tied to AI or other high-stakes tech. Think of it as a tiered system. Smaller operations don't qualify, but behemoths that promise job creation, energy resilience, or defense advantages do. The catch? These projects must also meet strict criteria set by agencies like the Department of Defense or Energy. And here's the twist. Even Superfund sites, former industrial wastelands, could be repurposed, as long as cleanup aligns with new goals. Money talks, but who's listening? The Treasury's opening its wallet for qualifying projects through loans, tax breaks, and grants. But this isn't just about cash, it's about leverage. The government wants to ensure these investments pay off for the public, not just private shareholders. Yet critics argue this could favor corporate giants over smaller innovators. Should the federal government prioritize scale over diversity? Share your thoughts below. Environmental hurdles get a makeover. Here's the part most people miss. Environmental reviews are being rewritten to speed things up. The National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, which typically requires lengthy impact studies, now allows for categorical exclusions. Basically, pre-approved shortcuts for routine projects. For example, a new transmission line for a data center might skip a full review if it seemed low risk. But this raises the key question. Are we sacrificing thoroughness for speed? The order claims 50% federal funding is the threshold for major scrutiny. But does that truly balance efficiency with accountability? Land use, a double-edged sword. Public lands are now fair game for data centers, but only if they serve prosperity and security. The Interior and Energy departments will handpick sites, often previously contaminated areas, for reuse. The military, is even on board, offering bases for energy infrastructure. Yet environmental groups warn this could turn sensitive ecosystems into tech battlegrounds. Is this a smart use of resources or a greenwashing tactic? We'd love to hear your take. The Fast Track System. Projects get a VIP pass through the Fast 41 program, which guarantees expedited permits and public progress tracking. Think of it as a project dashboard for accountability. But here's the rub. Smaller or unconventional projects might fall through the cracks if they don't fit the rigid criteria. Should flexibility trump speed in the name of innovation? Sound off in the comments. The bottom line. This order is a clear signal. The U.S. is all in on tech supremacy. But it's also a gamble. Will these shortcuts pay off, or will they backfire by sidelining sustainability and equity? As the debate unfolds, one thing's certain, the stakes are higher than ever. What's your stance? Share your perspective and join the conversation. Paducah DOE selection. AI infrastructure hub for U.S. leadership. Trump admin initiative. Former nuclear site in Kentucky chosen to spearhead America's AI revolution. Washington, D.C. The race for artificial intelligence supremacy has just accelerated dramatically as the U.S. Department of Energy announced Thursday a bold initiative within the Trump administration's strategy to rapidly expand American AI capabilities. The historic Paducah gaseous diffusion plant in Kentucky stands among 4 strategic locations selected to transform into advanced AI development hubs. The department has confirmed these designated facilities will soon begin recruiting technology industry collaborators to establish state-of-the-art AI data centers alongside next-generation energy production installations. This represents a strategic pivot for facilities once central to America's energy infrastructure. Through the strategic repurposing of DOE property assets for AI and energy infrastructure deployment, we're initiating what amounts to the next Manhattan Project, guaranteeing American leadership in both AI technology and energy production, stated Energy Secretary Chris Wright during the announcement. These carefully evaluated locations are uniquely qualified to host sophisticated data processing facilities while simultaneously supporting power generation that will enhance electrical grid reliability, reinforce our national security apparatus, and help reduce overall energy costs for consumers. The Paducah facility selection marks a fascinating evolution for a site steeped in America's national security history. Once a cornerstone of uranium enrichment operations during the Cold War era, the Kentucky installation now prepares to contribute to a different kind of technological race with global implications. The Paducah gaseous diffusion plant has maintained a crucial position in safeguarding America's national security interests for decades, and now stands ready, once again, to emerge as a national pioneer in a transformative technological field. Noted U.S. Senator H. McConnell, RKY. I feel immense pride in both the Paducah community and its talented workforce, and remain confident they are